Good morning, children. Welcome to the English class. Today, we are going to do a quick recap of notice writing. We had done notice writing in very short some months back, and I'm sure you remember what a notice is. So, let us quickly see what a notice is. What is a notice? We have read notices on soft boards, put on soft boards. We have seen notice on notice board. We may get notice from other departments, schools, and other places, organizations. A notice is a written or printed piece of information or news of some event that has happened or is going to happen. It can be related to many things. It can be related to a meeting, a debate, a sports event, a camp, a trip, a quiz, a competition, etc. They are also used to make appeals. Now, appeals are something which you do to make people do certain things. If suppose you want donation for the children who have no homes, then you can make an appeal. If you want to send certain gifts to the old people in the old age homes, you can make an appeal. Now, it is very difficult to go from child to child or from a person to person and ask them to donate money or ask them to come and voluntarily help in your cause. So, the best thing is to take out a notice, put it somewhere where people can read, and then after reading, if they want to do it, if they are interested, they can contact you and do what you want them to do. Now, what are the objectives? That means why we write or print a notice. Why do we take out a notice? There are reasons for taking out a notice. And the first one is when we want to announce events or celebrations. Events, of course, are what are going to happen, like the sports day, the annual day, the prize giving function, the recitation, etc. Celebrations are when you want to celebrate something. Maybe a festival, maybe a victory of the team, or some other thing. So you can announce events or celebrations using a notice. Now, the second reason to take out a notice is when you want to issue some important instructions to a large number of people. That means you want to give some important instructions to a group of people, and so you take out a notice, write a notice, and put it on the soft board. Then we have already seen you can take out a notice, you can write a notice and then print it to make appeals for donation, for books, or for help. And of course, notice can also be used to extend invitation to a large number of people when you don't want to give each one an individual invitation. You can take out a notice, put it on the softboard. For example, if there is a program in a Priyalok Vilas, we can get a notice from there, and ma'am will mention why she is inviting us and all the things related to the notice, may be related to the event, may be in the notice. We just have to read it and attend that program. Now later we are going to see what a notice includes. But if we don't know the place or the time or the date or where to go, that is the venue, and whom to contact, then we will not be able to attend that program. So all these things have to be mentioned in the content of the notice. Now, there are certain things which you have to remember. These are very important when I'm writing a notice. The first thing is that the notice has to be written in a neat and good handwriting. If you don't write neatly, then people may not be able to understand certain points which you have mentioned in the notice. So you have to write neatly and in good handwriting, and then put it on the notice board or the soft board. You have to use simple and clear language. The language should be very simple, which everyone who reads the notice can understand, and the language should be clear. It should be very, very clear what you want them to do and when. It should not confuse the person reading the notice, and he should be clear about all the information provided in the notice. Then, as for everything else in creative writing, you have to write the notice in the correct format. If I don't write it in the correct format, I lose marks. So I have to write it in the correct format. It is a very short piece, so I have to remember all the parts of the format and frame it properly. Then the heading you write should not be a boring one or a confusing one. It should be eye catching, attention grabbing, and interesting. And if possible, just one or two or three words, not a very long heading. The contents of the notice, that is the matter you write in the notice, should include all the information the person who is reading needs, and that means that it should include the 5 W's. Now, this is very important. You remember what you have to include in the content has to be the 5 W's. 5 W's, the first is what it is. Second, when, that is the date, the month, and the year. Then you have where. Where means the venue, the place where this is going to be organized. Then why, if you know why, that means if you have a drawing competition on Independence Day, please write why. If you are collecting Rakhis for soldiers on the border, you have to mention it that you have to make Rakhis at home and bring it to school for the soldiers of our country who are on the border fighting for us. So the Why, if you know, has to be mentioned. Then who and whom, who is the people who can participate. If it is class wise, you can mention which classes can participate. If you need to mention houses, you should mention the students of which house can participate. In short, who can participate. And this fifth W also includes whom. Whom means whom to contact if you want to participate, or whom to give your names. You could also tell the children to contact this person if they have any doubt or they want any further information. So the content of the notice should include these 5 W's. Please do not write anything extra, only to the point, short and clear sentences. Then, when the 5 W's or all the information is over, the notice is useless if it does not have a signature of an authorized person. That means a person in authority. The first thing will be the signature, under it the full name, and last of all the designation. Now, what is designation? Designation is the post this person has. If the person who has written the notice is the president of the sports club, we write President Sports Club. Secretary, Myra Club. Principal of this school. But then if it is school, then we don't need to mention the name of the school, because the name of the school or the organization is given on the top. So we can just mention the principal. And if he, that is the person who is writing the notice, is the captain of the cricket team, we mention captain cricket team. Head boy RKC, or RKC girls, RKC boys. Now you must put the notice in a box. After you write the notice, you have to draw a rectangular box and put the notice in a box. Please do not draw a square box. It has to be a rectangular box. And what I suggest is, before you start writing the notice, you can draw the line on top, draw the line on both the sides, but the last one, that means do not close the box till you have written all the information. And when you have written all the information, draw the last line, and that will give you a very neat and tidy notice. Otherwise, if you draw the box beforehand and you have more information, then you may have to write the information you have in a clumsy, untidy way. So the best thing is to draw the line on top, the line on the sides, but not the last one that is below. You have to write all the information and then close the box. Now these points you must remember if you want to write an interesting notice in the correct format. Now the content and expressions. That means what should be there in the notice. First, you have to mention the purpose of writing the notice. That means why you are writing the notice. Please do not start with "this is to inform you." Just go directly and start with our school is going to organize a trip for Form 7, or our organization is going to organize an art competition. So we go directly and write purpose of the notice, why you are writing the notice. Then you have to mention for whom the notice is. That means the classes or the people or the houses. You want these people to read the notice, so you need to mention for whom the notice is. And then, as I told you earlier, you have to include the 5 W's: what, where, when, why, and whom, or who, or both. Now, who can participate? Then how to apply and whom to apply. That means if you want to participate, whom to give your name to, or whom to tell that you are interested in participating. And how is also important. Sometimes you are supposed to give it in writing. Sometimes you are supposed to send an email or an SMS or WhatsApp, your name and all the other information. So how to apply is also to be mentioned in the notice. And then last date is very important. If you don't mention the last date, children may keep on sending their names after the last date, and so it becomes difficult to include these children who have applied late. So the best thing is to mention the date, and if possible mention the timing also, that the last date is 25th December till 5 p.m. Then whom to contact, I have talked about it earlier. The person whom you must contact for further information or to give your names. Now the marking scheme. Format is short. It is just 40 to 50 words. Sometimes they may ask you to write a longer notice. So please see the word limit mentioned in the brackets when you get this question in the creative writing section. But if word limit is not mentioned, then you have to stick to 40 to 50 words. Now the marks allotted usually are 4 or 5 marks, but then the marks can also differ depending on the teacher, and it can vary from teacher to teacher. So for format, the marks are usually 2, and for the content 2. That means the format and the content carry equal marks. What you write and how you write carry equal marks. So you have to pay attention to both. The format, that is all the parts which you write, and the content, that is what you write in the notice. Now what is format of a notice? What does it include? Of course, as I told you, it has to be in a box and in a rectangular box. On top, in the middle of the box, you are going to write the name of the school or the organization which is taking out this notice, and then put a comma and write the name of the city. If it is our school, you can write, or you have to write, the Rajkumar College, comma, Rajkot. And all these will be in capital letters, not the whole word, but the first letter of all these words, the T capital, Rajkumar, R capital, college, C capital, comma, then Rajkot, R capital again. Then just below the name of the school or the organization, you must write the word notice in capital letters. That means capital NOTICE and underline it. Then you write the heading or the title. Sometimes the date is given before the heading or the title in some books, and in some books it is under or after the heading or the title. We will accept both, but the date has to be there. So give a heading or a title again in the middle. So please remember the name of the school or the organization has to be in the middle. Below it in the middle has to be the word notice, capital NOTICE underline. Then the heading or the title or the caption has to be in the middle. For example, there is a trip, you could just write the heading trip to Kullu Manali. If there is a quiz competition, the heading could be inter-house quiz competition. If there is going to be a drama, you could write drama competition. Now the date of the notice has to be mentioned, and the date will not be in the middle, it will be on the left hand side. Now after each part of the format, you have to leave a line. Leave a line after the name of the school and then write the word notice. After writing the word notice, leave a line and write heading or title. Then leave a line and write the date of the notice. The date of the notice, of course, you have to write on the left hand side. And then you have to write one paragraph of content. Because it is very short, you will not be able to write more than one paragraph, and this paragraph should include all the details about whatever you are writing. Now, when you finish writing the content, leave a line, and on the left hand side again, the writer or the person who is writing the notice has to sign the name, then write full name, that means name and surname, and designation, which means the post or the position he or she has. Now, if in the question they ask you to be someone else, in the instructions they may write, you are Seema Gupta. Now, if they write you are Seema Gupta or you are Shrey Gupta, usually they have two names and a slash, a boy's name and a girl's name. Then you have to use that name. You can't use your name, and you have to also sign as that person. The designation also has to be of that person. Now, sometimes they don't give a name. If no name is given, then of course you can sign as yourself, write your full name, that means your name and surname both, and write your designation. Now, if you are writing about cricket match, and you can just imagine and write a designation. You could write secretary of the cricket club, or you could write or sign yourself, then write your full name, and then write head of the sports department. Now, things you can't forget when writing a notice. You can't forget to take care of grammar, that means the tense and the framing of grammatically correct sentences is very important. then you have to pay attention to spellings and punctuation marks. That means full stop, comma, question mark, etc. Put the notice in a box. That is again very important. If you write a notice and then forget to put it in the box, you may lose a lot of marks. That means half a mark or 1 mark. Then you have to stick to the word limit if it is given. You cannot write more than the word limit or lesser than the word limit. You could just have 5 words less or 5 words more. Later on, you lose marks for writing more than the required number of words and even less than the required number of words. Then, if the name of the school is not given, I told you if your name is given, you have to use that name. If no name is given, you have to use, if a name is given, you have to use that name. And if no name is given, you have to use your name. But when a name of a school is mentioned, then I have to use that very name. But if the name of the school or the institution is not mentioned, then you can write an imaginary name. You could write the Daffodil School, Tulip School, or you could write XYZ School and then a city, comma, Rajkot, comma, New Delhi. So these things you can't forget. Now, this was all for today. We have still a lot more left in notice writing. So we will discuss the format in detail in the next video, and we are also going to see some sample notices in the next video. Thank you, children. Take care till we meet next time with this topic again.